EFL Championship Stoke City vs Hull City prediction, team news, lineups preview. Stoke City will begin life under the new management of Pelach on Friday, when they play host to Hull City in a championship contest. The Spaniard arrived to replace departing boss Steven Schumacher on Wednesday, while both sides will bid to bounce back from league defeats last weekend. Match preview. Stoke City head into their first game under new permanent management on Friday, following the departure of Steven Schumacher on Monday early on in the championship campaign. After arriving in Staffordshire in December and eventually guiding them to a 17th-placed championship finish, he led them into the new term with the aim of kicking on, and they experienced a mixed start prior to the September international break, recording 1-0 victories over Coventry City and Plymouth Argyle either side of defeats to Watford and West Bromwich Albion. Their return to action last weekend, a trip to Oxford United on Saturday, proved to be Schumacher's last game at the helm, as the Potters fell to a 1-0 defeat following Idris El Mazzouni's opener at the beginning of the second half. They were back in action on Tuesday, under the temporary stewardship of Ryan Shawcross, and progressed to the EFL Cup fourth round after a tricky test against fourth-tier Fleetwood Town, eventually being held to a 1-1 draw as Reece Bennett cancelled out Michael Rose's 54th-minute opener in injury time before the Potters prevailed in a penalty shootout, having now turned to Spanish coach Pelach to lead them forward. Stoke City will be keen to record a second home league victory of the campaign on Friday. Their visitors, meanwhile, make the trip to Staffordshire on Friday still in search of a first victory of the season under the new management of Tim Walter, who took over from Liam Rosenior over the summer, with the aim of building on last season's 7th-place championship finish. Hull City kicked off life under their new boss with 3 consecutive draws in England's second tier, sharing points with Bristol City, Plymouth Argyle and Millwall in August. Then, in search of a first victory of the campaign, the Tigers have since turned out against Yorkshire rivals Leeds United and Sheffield United either side of the recent international break and failed to add any further points to their tally, firstly suffering a 2-0 defeat away at Elland Road at the end of last month. On their return to action last Friday, Walter's men welcomed promotion-chasing Sheffield United to the MKM Stadium and took a second straight 2-0 loss, as Gustavo Hamer put the hosts ahead inside 15 minutes and Sam McCallum doubled the lead soon after the hour mark, with concern bound to be growing around the MKM Stadium with Hull City yet to kick into gear in their new era. Walter will be desperate to oversee a much-needed first win on Friday to kickstart a climb up the championship table. Team news. Stoke City continue to contend with several injury issues heading into the weekend, as Bosun Lawal, Lyndon Gooch, Ben Pearson and Sam Gallagher remain confined to the treatment room, while defender Ashley Phillips picked up a knock of his own in the midweek cup tie against Fleetwood and could miss out. Ben Wilmot and Ben Gibson will both hope to return to the middle of the back four from the outset but face competition from Michael Rose, while Jordan Thompson and Wouter Berger should get the nod over 17-year-old Sol Sidibe to start in the midfield. Pelach inherits plenty of attacking options in his Potters squad even without Gallagher and Gooch, and Leicester City loanee Tom Cannon will likely lead the line with support from Bae Junho, Million Manhoff and either Lewis Kumas, Andrew Moran or Neil Ennis. Hull City remain without wingers Ryan Longman and Dogukan Sinek due to injuries, while new arrival Steven Alzate will not be deemed fit in time to feature on Friday. Tim Walter may opt to make several changes to his starting 11 after last Friday's 2-0 home defeat to Sheffield United, with Cody Drama, Regan Slater, Liam Miller and Casey Palmer all vying to earn opportunities from the outset. Miller will hope to displace one of fellow new arrivals Abu Kamara or Bachir Balumi on the wings in support of Chris Bedia, while Slater could displace Finlay Burns in front of the defensive pairing of Sean McLaughlin and Alfie Jones. Stoke City possible starting lineup: Johansson, Chamadou, Wilmot, Gibson, Bocat, Thompson, Berger, Bay, Moran, Manhoff, Cannon. Hull City possible starting lineup: Pander, Coyle, Jones, McLaughlin, Giles, Slater, Kamara, Omar, Melham, Miller, Bedia. We say, Stoke City 2-1 Hull City. The introduction of Pelach could give Stoke City an instant boost on Friday. And with home advantage against a Hull City side yet to click following their own change, we back the Potters to come out on top. Thanks for your watching. Don't forget to click the subscribed button and hit the bell icon for more.